So I'll talk about that. But first I'll start with the Knight of Cups here in reverse. At the beginning of the month, there may be a way in which you feel a little bit out of sorts emotionally. And that is, the reason I say that is because Knight of Cups usually represents a water sign. So Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And I'm reading this as you, Pisces. And cups usually represent our emotional self, the water element. You can see in his armor, he's wearing the messenger god Hermes helmet, which has those wings on it. He also has winged feet, which you can't see here, but it's the messenger god, and it's the messenger of the heart. And knights are all about balancing energies. So with this card showing up in reverse, you may be having a hard time balancing between feeling, he's a very romantic, sensitive card. And he's quite a bit the idealist. So in some ways, and it's also a new moon. So with that new moon, you might be struggling with who is this new self that's emerging since I've been so focused on others for the past year. I don't even know how I feel anymore is kind of what Knight of Cups in reverse says. I don't even know how to express what's on my heart is kind of what he says. Because normally Knight of Cups is a message of the heart, wearing your heart on your sleeve. In reverse, it's like there's a message that wants to come through, but you're not quite sure what it is. It's sort of like getting your footing emotionally. Not really being sure of what you want to say or how you want to express what's on your heart. It's just like trying to balance emotional energies is what I'll say for the opening. You may not be quite sure where you're going yet, especially emotionally. You might not feel like sure-footed. But take heart, Pisces, because you do have full energy coming up here, which means like the world is open to you. It's sort of like the grand adventurer. It's the very first card of the tarot. So it's like the beginning of the journey, the first step. And all this white energy has to do with innocence and purity, and it's a real card of trust and faith. Fool will leap before he looks, and he trusts that the universe will catch him. So it's a real card of like having faith in the universe, having faith that you're going to go wherever the winds blow you will be okay, that it's a real sense of adventure, of all possibility. Nothing is formed yet. Nothing is decided. It's like heading off without a map and like seeing life as a grand adventure and that all things are possible. So this is a real... It's like going into uncharted territory, and it's a new beginning, and it's full of life and adventure. And if you think of a young person who's setting out without any preconceived notions or expectations, that's full energy. And he's very carefree too. He doesn't have a care in the world. So that's full energy. Just be careful when this shows up to not be foolish or reckless or, head into things that may be above and beyond you. This is having an open heart, and this is having trust and faith in the universe. So that's even if you're feeling emotionally unbalanced or trying to balance emotional energies of like, this is what I want to express, this is what I want to say, this is what's on my heart, I'm not really sure. Fool says, just take heart, have faith. It'll take care of itself. And this is 8 of Coins. And this means kind of just putting your head down and grinding it out. And you can see lots of artifacts, lots of money is created through that. This is someone who loves what they do. They kind of whistle while they work. And it can be like the craftsperson or the artisan, but it's just someone who's very engrossed in their creative projects, in their work. It's a really great card for Virgo because it's sort of like back to school, back to work, let's get our not back to the drawing board so much, but just like, let's get back to it. Let's refocus and like crank it out. Let's crank out products. Let's crank out artists, like artistic works, creative things that make money, things we can sell. It's a real card of just discipline, focus, and also enjoying your work. So I see that happening for you. And then right now too, there may be some challenges with the relationships. This is 2 of Cups in reverse. 2 of Cups is one of the best cards for relationship. It's literally an exchange of hearts is what these 2 cups represent. And it's 2 people. It's basically like a love affair, and it's just between the 2 of them. So this is like offering yourself to someone else, participating in romantic energies, sharing your heart with someone else. This is a great marriage card. In the reverse position, it says that you may be like not understanding your partner, or if you're not in partnership, it may be that you have a hard time, you know, understanding others that you might be in relationship with or want to be, or that, you know, that there's something blocking that this is showing up for you. So there is relationship energy present, but it's not quite come to the surface yet. You might not quite be able to work things out with your partner, or you might not quite be ready to jump into a relationship, but you might be considering it when this shows up. This card, Ace of Wands, shows me that in the middle of the month, there is some new, fresh, invigorating energy available to you. Aces are always new beginnings, and the rods are fire signs. So rods mean like passion, energy, motivation, activity, action, all that fire stuff. And Ace of Rods has the archetype of someone who's out in front of a parade, who's leading the parade, the first one out of the gates. It also has the archetype of the person who's holding the baton in a race, so the active element, the active runner. And because it is an ace, it's always a new beginning. There's a new beginning available to you, but you might be afraid of it, or resisting it, or, you know, not sure, is what I get from this card, not sure about taking that first step, that first leap. Like this card in the upright position is full of fresh energy. It's a new day. It's like a new spring. It's got sort of like all this new active life to it. But in the reverse position, it says, should I do it? Can I do it? Is it, you know, is it time? Or there may be doubts or fears or delay, you know, worry or fretting, like, I don't know if I could do it yet. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm not ready to be the first one out of the gate. I'm not ready to take that first step. That's Ace of Wands in reverse energy. So what can you do to confront, to remove this out of reverse and take that first step? What doubts, fears, or considerations? Like, you might ask yourself the question, why am I not ready to begin something new? What am I doubtful or fearful or worried about, or why am I wanting it to be delayed? It could just be that you may just be emotionally off. You may be recovering from something. You may be feeling like, I don't know how I feel. But these two surrounding it, if you look at this, this is an ace and this is the 0 surrounding this person, almost like holding this person. So there's a new beginning available. But what I also get the sense that you need to address is that you've got Star, Queen of Coins, and Moon all in reverse. You know, in fact, all of these are in reverse. But some of the things that you're going to have to address in order to like feel you again, so this is all going to be stuff you're going to be dealing with mid-month, is Star has to do with hope. And it could be relevant to being hopeful about the new project, like you don't see a way of doing it. This is also a card of self-value, radiating your own natural self, finding your own place in the universe just as you are, with no titles, with no status. With, you know, her nakedness has to do with self-acceptance and not needing anything else to be radiant in the universe. It's just as she is. In this card, she recognizes that she has her own place, that she's enough just as she is, without any clothes, without any status, without any ego stuff, without any title, reputation, any of that. She is as valued as the bird or the tree or the stars in the sky. It's just finding your own place in nature, and that generates a lot of natural radiance and hope. You know, when this card comes up in reverse, it says to me, Pisces, like, how is it that you can acknowledge yourself as valuable, as worthy, as radiant, just as who you are, not needing anything more? With Queen of Coins and Moon in reverse as well, Queen of Coins can be a couple different things. This could either be literally an earth sign, so it could be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. That's someone that you're seeing that you're at odds with, or who is being a difficult person. Normally, Queen of Coins is very practical, very down to earth. But in the reverse position, she can be a little bit stubborn. If you think about like a Taurus digging their heels in, or, you know, a Capricorn maybe being judgmental of you, or Virgo saying, you know, you need to, it's sort of like a taskmaster teacher, you need to cross your T, you need to dot your I, you're doing it wrong. You know, be more precise. It's basically like someone who's correcting you or just seeing things different. So she could basically just be trying to, not seeing things the way that you are, or it just feels like someone who is really holding you to task, or saying, you know, one of the other things that Queen of Coins represents is she's the woman who holds the money, and the woman who knows how to manage money and finance and budget and all of that stuff. So if with this in the reverse position, this could be you or someone else, Pisces. This could be you questioning your abilities to manage the money correctly, not seeing yourself, not identifying with the Queen of Coins, the woman who holds down the fort. You know, she's usually at home baking cookies or cooking something for her family and children. She's very maternal. She's a very steadfast, reliable, trustworthy, down to earth. Maybe you just don't feel like you're being practical enough, or that you're managing the money well, or that you know how to handle things, that you know how to be sort of the queen of the house. So it could either be you not identifying with Queen of Coins, or it could be an earth sign person, someone who has authority, that is perhaps making you feel less than. That's what Star in Reverse says. Star in Reverse is someone who, in the upright position, she values herself. She's radiant. She knows she doesn't need anything else. In the reverse position, especially with Queen of Coins looking at her, it's sort of saying, like, you know, she might be doubting herself. You know, am I enough? Am I worthy? Am I valuable? Am I doing this okay? And that might be part of why you're saying, you know, here's this fresh start, but I just don't know if I'm ready. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel capable. Sorry, that was my dog barking and another dog crossing the street. And so another thing too is this is Moon in reverse. So this is all about illusions and not buying into, not believing something to be real that is not real. One of the things about the moon is that it doesn't generate its own light. It's a reflection of the sun's light, which appears to be its own light. So it's not really appearing as it is. The moon is, it appears to come from the moon, but it's really from the sun. So what this card is about too is letting things come up from the subconscious. That's what this lobster or this crab in this water element is. That's the emotional world. You're a water sign Pisces, so you can relate to that. But this is letting subconscious feelings come up for evaluation between the wild side of ourselves, which is the wolf, and the domesticated side of ourselves, which is the dog. So it's letting things bubble up from the subconscious and saying, okay, is it left? Is it right? How do I find balance? How do I tell what's true and what's consistent? What's not fantasy? What is solid? Because, you know, the light of the moon waxes and wanes. It changes. It's flexible. It can just like appear in dreams. It happens when we're in a dream state. This card has a lot of Neptune, a lot of fantasy. It's actually governed by Pisces because we're governed by Neptune. But with the moon and the star in the reverse position surrounding this Queen of Coins, there's something about dreams or the nighttime element, letting those feelings that may come up in the night, perhaps, about being able to either deal with this Queen of Coins person or be this Queen of Coins person. Any doubts that you have about being the Queen of Coins or identifying with that archetype, it could be male or female. More likely than not, it's female, but someone who manages the money. If you're having doubts about yourself being able to manage the money, especially coming up at night, that's what's going on. That might be why you're putting this new beginning in delay, or you don't feel ready, or you feel like doubt or fear about the new beginning. So what I'm going to encourage you, Pisces, to do is, in order to correct your identification or whatever problems are going on with this Queen of Coins person, or energy, see if, especially at night, that you can just look into connecting. You'll see this pool of water is common. It almost looks like a continuation of the same card. See if you can connect with whatever subconscious feelings are bubbling up. Let them come up in the gentle light of the moon. And see if you can just acknowledge your own place in the universe just as you are, just as you were born, just as worthy as the moon, the star, the bird, the tree, the wolf, the dog, the crab, any of that. It all has its value, the flower. It has its own value in the natural world. And if you can connect with star and moon energy, it's basically like saying that it's enough just as it is. There's nothing else that you need to add to it. There's nothing else that you need to do for it to have value. And that's intrinsic value. That is truth. That is not flexible. That is not changeable. That's something that's not up for debate, really. But it's allowing those subconscious feelings to come up and sort of percolate up and balance them out. It also, is similar to this card, balancing your energies, balancing emotions, that will help you correct and connect with this Queen of Coins energy. This is, you may either reconcile with the earth sign that you're having trouble with, or you may be able to identify with Queen of Coins energy. Like, I am capable. I do have authority. I am able to manage the money. I am able to hold down the fort. So if you're having any problems with that, see if you can look up Pisces, star and moon energy, especially at nighttime. Just connect with the natural world. Maybe even take a walk out in the moonlight. Allow yourself time to reflect or to meditate, especially on self-worth, self-value, just as worthy as any of these other natural elements. That's going to actually unlock a lot of hope and unlock a lot of any emotions that need to bubble to the surface. So that is the middle of the month for you, Pisces. And then towards the end of the month, you've got a couple queens here in reverse. So this is traditionally an air sign. This could either be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. And Queen of Swords is someone who, in the upright position, she's very dedicated to the truth. She's very honest. She's very analytical. She's very practical. She cuts right to the heart of the matter. She's very direct. In the reverse position, she could actually be someone who's very cutting, or like saying a truth that you want to resist. She might be like laying down sort of a hard truth for you to swallow. Or it could just be literally an air sign that is not seeing eye to eye with you. So this could be, like I said, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. But she usually represents someone who's truthful, honest, practical, direct, logical. She's really like a mind person. She's not so much a heart person, but she really like thinks things through and is willing to like say whatever she needs to say in order to like stand up for that truth. So in the reverse position, there may be someone towards the end of the month that you're not seeing eye to eye with, or who presents you with a truth that you have a hard time swallowing. Or, someone who's just being very honest and direct with you. Or potentially an air sign that is problematic. But I do see she may actually just give you something to think about, because I do see Six of Swords is recovery, and Four of Swords is a time for rest, relaxation, meditation, recovery. So the sense that I get, this is all swords energy. This is all air, stuff that's on your mind, mental element kind of stuff. She may have a truth, present you with like a cold, hard truth, and then you go through this period of recovery. Six of Swords means going from stormy seas to calmer waters. And that's really the sense I get for you, Pisces, is you go through this recovery period where things are a lot more calm. So these cards are really about recovery and then relaxation. Taking a time out is really what Four of Swords is about. It's like rethinking things. It's really, which is a theme for September, because it really is, especially with this Mercury retrograde, it really is a time to just rethink, recenter, reassess, reconsider, revisit things. And so it really, towards the end of the month is when I see you may go from the stormy seas into a period of recovery. And with this card, I always point out that it could either be someone rescuing you, or it could be you rescuing someone else, or it could be you rescuing yourself. So it's definitely a card of recovery. And it's interesting, this could also be, someone who is like a lawyer or something, because Six of Swords can be read as science or information. And this is also, someone who presents you with the truth or information about something. It may be hard for you to hear, or it may not be something that you recognize as the truth. That's her being in the reverse position. But it's leading you to a place of going from stormy seas to smoother waters, being in a place of recovery, being in a place of healing. And this too is a card of taking a time out from battle to just recover, to regain your strength, to heal, to let your thoughts sort of just bubble up. It's sort of like hanging your thoughts up on the wall, not thinking things through, just reflecting and almost dreaming, and just letting think. Both of these, one similarity that these cards both have is that there is this beautiful, serene calmness to them. Here in the horizon, here it's traveling from somewhere difficult to go somewhere calm, and here it's having arrived at the calm place where you can rest, where you can recover, where you can heal, and like just take a time out. And then at the very end of the month, you have 7 of Coins in reverse, which means in the upright position, it means like reassessing, taking time out, like having patience to let the harvest sweeten. This is a Coins card, so it has to do with money, possessions, assets, things that are tactile or physical. So it generally means waiting for what's ripening on the vine to sweeten. Like that it might not be time for the harvest yet, that the harvest is coming, and he's considering like, is this what I want to sow? Is this what I want to do with my money? Is this the harvest that I want to reap? Are things going as I want them to go? Are things looking good? Are things looking ready? So in the reverse position, it sometimes 7 of Coins can be read as, I feel like a failure. Like things didn't turn out the way I expected them to. It can be some difficulty, but you know, there is some, it's interesting with Queen of Coins and 7 of Coins in the reverse position. There may be something that's saying, am I doing the right thing with the money? Am I being a good manager? Am I being a good farmer in terms of harvest? Like, am I doing with the money what I intended to? But in the reverse position too, it could just be like there's money to be harvested, but you're afraid to. You're afraid to actually like cut those vines. Like it's almost like you want the money to stay on the vines. You're afraid to collect it all, even though it's sitting there waiting for you. So see if you can address whatever doubts, fears, whatever's holding this in suppression for you. Like it just may not feel like the right time. That's kind of what Ace of Wands says. And 7 of Coins in reverse says, I've got all this available to me, but I just don't know if I'm ready for it. You know, the other side of 7 of Coins can mean failure in some ways, but it also can be the Millionaire's card. So in some ways it's like all these riches await you, but you just don't feel ready to harvest them. Maybe address what's going on here too, again with that self-value, your own unique place in the world, your own value in the natural world, not falling prey to illusions. Whatever those doubts or fears are, both regarding relationships and money, you know, it's false stuff. It might be coming from a deep place. There might be some old wounds or some old lies that may come up for evaluation and review to say, well, what's true and what's not, especially regarding relationships and money. So I want you to consider that, Pisces. It'll be a great time for reflection and healing towards the end of the month, especially with some insight that you may get from an air sign person. It might not be what you want to hear, but they're going to have some very direct words or information for you. Or it could be, you know, someone with authority. It doesn't necessarily have to be an air sign, but if it's a Queen of Swords archetype, someone who speaks directly and with authority and is very practical and very honest, it could be that kind of person too. So that's my reading for Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope things turn around for you of being more centered in your own life rather than just for others with all those planets and Jupiter. And I'm excited for you with this new full energy. If you enjoyed the reading, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Pisces who you think might benefit from hearing this message. If you've subscribed already, thank you. And if you would like to subscribe, feel free to. I just want to say thanks to everyone for watching.